All right, have and have not fans. Now, once again, just a friendly reminder, May 1st is going to be the return of season 6 with episode 11, Veronica's House. And I did some research, online, not some intensive research. I just simply went to the OWN network website to check out the schedule listing over the next week, because I was pretty curious as to whether or not there was going to be some sort of have and have not, mini marathon or binge-a-thon like there was in the past, just to get people caught up on the show before it returned with new episodes. And unfortunately, I checked on the schedule for a Monday, April 30th, and then of course the schedule for May 1st, because that's the return of the show. And sadly, from what I saw, the only episode aside from the new one at 9 o'clock is going to be from 8 to 9 p.m. simply A Lover's Passion, episode 10 of the current season, because the other blocks of time are going to be filled up with Dr. Phil and Dateline. And I have to say that's very disappointing as a fan, because as I talked about in another video, is the fact that I'm a bit disappointed that OWN hasn't done a lot of marketing for the haves and the have not like it used to. I remember times where the show was pretty much always brought up in commercials or on the social media websites, like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, just to get people hyped up for the show. I kind of feel like in some ways that maybe OWN has already, I wouldn't say given up, but pretty much is trying to move on to the next stage. I do believe somebody sent me an article about Will Packer. He's being brought in to come up with some new series on OWN, pretty much because, again, if you haven't been made aware, Tyler Perry is leaving in 2020 for Viacom because his contract with OWN ends, and he signed a bigger deal with Viacom allegedly to come up with movies, TV shows, pretty much what he's been doing on OWN, but on a bigger scale, it seems. So it does seem like the obvious answer to try to find, I wouldn't say the next Tyler Perry, the new Tyler Perry, but somebody to come in and kind of fill in those positions by creating new content for the OWN channel. Now, what I'm thinking is that since Tyler Perry is leaving, that's why, Tyler Perry's shows really aren't getting the headway that they used to be when OWN first started, because when OWN first got up, Tyler Perry was holding that channel down with his content, the haves and the have-nots leading into Love Thy Neighbor and then If Loving You Is Wrong. And now it seems that, and nothing against the oldies, because I love like 227. I do believe Benson is coming on OWN later, in a couple weeks or so, if not this weekend or sometime in May. I actually just saw the preview on the OWN channel, and I want to do a video about that as well, because I love me some Benson. I actually have the only 2 seasons they put on DVD, seasons 1 and 2. I believe I bought it off Amazon Prime for like $6 a few years ago. And the reason I'm going to do a video on Benson is because the concept of Benson, I actually sat down and watched like the first 10 episodes. It really reminds me of the haves and the have-nots, and I'll go into more detail when I do that video. Now, when it comes down to not doing a marathon, I think that's a mistake for several reasons. The biggest one being is we want to establish hype for the new episodes. Now, I will admit, I am glad they're not airing the first 10 episodes of this season, just because they were so bad, in my opinion, aside from 2 or 3 of them. Because if you really want to reignite the flames of people's passion, A Lover's Passion, get it, for the show itself, I would want to bring out the best of the best. Like, heck, why not do like 2 to 5 episodes each night, like, some of the best of the best. I get it that you want to be in continuity and have some kind of order, but why not do like a fan favorite, like have people, again, this could be a reason that social media is so important, where with Facebook and whatnot, you can have people vote in. This is the social media and technical age that we live in. Like, I remember maybe half a decade ago or so where Facebook and whatnot wasn't as big as it was today. All these networks and all would just have like their www.disney.com or whatnot, and then they will have polls on their website. You would go on there and vote for fan favorite episodes, like, favorite songs from the series. Like, I remember Phineas and Ferb did that. Why not have that from the haves and the have-nots? Like, each week have like, a particular listing of episodes from each season with a little description of the episode. And it's like, okay, on Tuesday of the 2nd week of April, we're going to be showing the top 5 most voted episodes of season 2 and then season 3. that would create hype. I don't know why they aren't doing this, because the marketing pretty much works for itself. All you got to do is get somebody online to get these things going, then bring the results back to the company. And it's like, okay, we could just use these 5 episodes because number one, it shows it keeps fans engaged. That's why I really try to do with this channel. Keep fans engaged with the show, especially during the hiatus, to keep the hype alive. Like, again, this channel itself, 2 thumbs up to everybody out there who has subscribed, share my videos around, have been rocking with me since day one. Because around this time in 2017, no joke, about a year ago, I actually got a Facebook reminder. You know how it is, like a on this day, it's pretty much just reminding you of particular posts, milestones, and events that you went to or posted online 1 year ago to 5 years ago and beyond. I actually got a reminder, I think it was around April the 17th, saying, you know, when I posted on Facebook, wow, my YouTube channel finally reached 500 subscribers, 500 more, and I could finally put a comma in there. Can you believe it? Like 500 people in April of 2017, and we're a couple hundred away from 25,000 subscribers now. Come on now. And even though the channel, again, I'm not diminishing the accomplishments this channel has made, but I'm only one guy, and there's a huge group of people out there. So I try my best as a fan of the show to keep the show going even during the hiatus by talking about it, coming up with theories, as well as Tyler Perry's other work. But I wish that they would put more effort into the marketing instead of waiting like a few days before, because when you think about it, the haves and the have-nots had a lot of heavy hitting contenders on Tuesday night. I mean, I don't know about you, but Black Lightning, The Flash, This Is Us. I mean, some of these big series that came out of the woodworks and were giving the haves and the have-nots a run for its money for Tuesday night viewing. Like, I remember on my particular Twitter, because I do believe you can customize, you know, the trending section about what's showing up. The haves and the have-nots really didn't show up on mine unless, you know, Flash was on break, or you know, some along those lines, or This Is Us after their season ended. So maybe the fact that the ratings weren't that good should have been even more inspiration for the OWN network to say, you know what, we're going to do a little bit, we're going to do something special for the haves and the have-nots to get fans going, because there was so much backlash for the first 10 episodes not being that well. Why not revive, you know, fan interest by picking some of the fan favorites from previous seasons? Because to be fair, I bet a lot of people would just be in awe and shock and joy to go back and rewatch some old episodes, because, well, the series is still not on DVD, and that's very disappointing. And to be honest, I mean, what, Love Thy Neighbor, If Loving You Is Wrong, even a show that ended up For Better or Worse, that isn't even on DVD. To my knowledge, the only shows I can think of that actually made it to DVD were House of Pain, Meet the Browns, and the ones that's 2, because there's 8 shows total, and then the ones that didn't make it: For Better or Worse, The Haves and the Have-Nots, If Loving You Is Wrong, Love Thy Neighbor, Too Close to Home, that's 7. What was that last one? House of Pain. Dang it, I cannot think of that show. Give me a second. Too Close to Home. House of Pain. Yeah, I can't remember, but it really is disappointing because there's so much potential for this show. So I don't know about you, but I would definitely see if you can get this video around, share it, tweet it to Tyler Perry, tweet it to OWN, because I want them to know that us, the fans, really have an interest in the show, and we don't want to see it go anywhere. So, you know, even if they don't want to have they have like the OWN app, why not do that to send polls to the fans? There are just so many things they can do that they're not doing, and it's really shameful, because I want as many people to watch the show now, or even more than when the show first came on during its initial, you know, first couple of seasons, especially with the show going off in 2020. I want the show to go off in a bang, go off in such a way that fans demand more, whether it be a prequel series, whether it be a movie, whether it is to have the haves and the have-not return on one of the Viacom networks. I mean, I don't know what to say. I feel like I just said my piece. There are just so many things that OWN and Tyler Perry Studios could be doing that they're not doing. And some people are just saying, like, you know, well, Tyler Perry is kind of like a person who has put in their 2-week notice. They're just doing what they can to get by before leaving. And I would hate to think that Tyler Perry is doing that, because he puts his heart and soul into all of his work. But I think we can all agree, and I've said it time and time again on this channel, I love the show. I love talking about it, giving it praises when it does well, but I'm not going to sit here and act like the show isn't as good as it used to be, because I feel we all have seen it, the decline in the quality. But with that being said, I hope everybody out here subscribes to the channel if you haven't done so already, where I talk about new content regarding the haves and the have-nots and all things Tyler Perry. Be sure to get this video around, because I hope that HAHN or somebody working in that company does see this video, just to know that there are fans out there who really care about this show and don't want to see it end on a low note when it started on such a high note.